Yo, what's going on, guys? Jared here again. I know it has been a long time. I think it's been 3 months since I uploaded my last video, and I've been very busy, and the format was so not good before. So I was very unexcited to play, and if my motivation is not in the game, I'm not going to force myself to make poor content that I am not fully committed to the channel. So I do not want to clog up your subscriptions with BS, essentially. Like every video I put out, I want there to be a purpose, and I want there to be something to learn from. And I feel like the last format, there really wasn't anything to learn from. The meta was pretty much solved, and it was quite boring, and I did not enjoy it. But you can see a couple of things that I got. I got a mic stand now, which is very helpful. I got a second monitor now, which helps me a lot with doing some of these recordings. And I actually have a remote dual setup, which is also here, which is very nice. But yeah, so the reason I wanted to make this video is because I wanted to show my Elrich deck that I've been playing at locals recently. I've been doing very well with. So far, every time I've played it, I've topped. It's been doing well. I think last time I went X1, I lost to Dragoon because Dragoon's a pain. The deck has outs, but it's just not many outs, and I'll probably change that somewhere within the side deck remain. I am still unsure. But yeah, this profile is going to be a little unorthodox. I'm going to go through the engines instead of the normal monster spell or trap because I just feel like it's better that way and it's easier to understand from my personal opinion. So I'm going to start off with the Elrich engine. So I decided to play 3 copies of Eldlich. And before you say this is weird, I know it's weird, but I know for my local specifically, there's not a lot of what's it called? Virtual World. It's not running around too much, so you get rewarded for playing 3 copies of Eldlich because there's a lot of mirror matches. You play a lot of mirror matches with this, and having the third Lord comes up a lot when you don't want to get Hakeroed for 2 of them. So just remember, like, this is more of like a template build. But if make sure you build your deck to the tournament that you're going to be playing, and because you have to be able to counter the meta, right? That's pretty much what you're going for. So you need to be able to play the cards that counter what you think everyone else is going to play. And for my local specifically, I feel like 3 Golden Wards is correct, and you're going to see a trend in the list of why. Like so I'll say like this is because of my local specifically, but if there was competitive events in person right now, I probably would not be doing playing this ratio. Like this would probably be a 2 of most likely, but for now, like I said, this would be a 3 of. 3 of the best Elrich card, 3 Cursed Outland. Obviously, his card's amazing. I feel like I don't need to explain that. And I play 1 of each Black Elixir, Black Awakening, and White Destiny. I play a little bit of a heavy Elrich package, and that's because of the 3rd engine I'm playing in this deck. It has a little bit of a luck factor to it, and I feel like it helps a lot with the deck, and it adds some discard cards. So if you discard these, it's very nice. So then we also for the traps of the Elwich cards, we play 3 Scarlet. It just gets the ward, it's very important. I do play the 1 Golden Forever because this card, I don't like getting blown out by something like Harpy's Fire Duster, evenly matched Lightning Storm. It's very frustrating when something like that happens, and I want to be able to. And this card's like searchable, right? Like you can search it off any of the Eldixirs, and off Elton. So it's very nice. I like being able to add just a nice Solemn Judgment in the main deck. Rather than only depend on it for the side deck. And then I also play 3 Conquistador and 3 Akero. Like I said, this is a very heavy Elrich package, and I just feel like, and I want to see the Elrich cards like the most. I feel like this would be like this is like the primary of the deck, and it's very important to keep that in mind. Like at its heart, you're playing an Elrich deck. For the second engine that I am playing the Dogmatika engine. Obviously, this engine is, I think, absurd. I think Nadir Servant's just a ridiculous card. But anyway, for the ratios, I'm playing 3 Ecclesia, just the generic Stratos. I play 1 Fleur and 1 Maximus. I just think that Shadal Winda is a absolutely gross card. Beats like most of the rogue matchups, like I said, for my local specifically. Fleur actually has not been shining too much. Like it comes up, but just not like nearly as much as I feel like it should. This is like probably like the most cuttable card, I want to say, but I want to make sure Ecclesia can still add an interruption, and like when you resolve the Nadir Servants, which I play 3 of, you want to be able to add this in the end phase off a Titanclad or Titaniclad. So yeah, like it's not like the best. It's just like a very like average card, I think would be like the best way to describe it. But it is one of the Dragoon outs in the deck, so I do feel like it's necessary. So yeah, 3 Nadir Servant, card's broken. I also play a lot of synergy with Maximus, as you'll see in a moment. I play 2 Punishment. This card's broken. Like, it's just really, really good. Like, it's a pop and can start your Dogmatika engine, or it's a double pop which is just like ridiculous. The fact that you have that choice of like being an engine or being like more like aggressive and defensive is like so strong. I play two of it because I play more than 40 cards, and I don't want to like. There's a lot of cards I don't want to draw like two ofs in my hand because they just do nothing, and like punishment's one of them. Like you just draw two of it and it's guaranteed a dead card like every time, unless you know you have like but like you don't like you can discard it pretty much is what I'm saying off of like Lord or any other of the discard cards I play, which you'll see in a minute. So yeah, that's why I play two punishment, and then I play the one schism because schism's like wind is broken, but it has come up where you go into construct and send away a light or the app cologne, which is nice. So it has like a kind of like a multi-use, which is kind of nice. A lot of people apparently forget that effect that it sends away. Yeah, it's like very relevant. Don't forget that like ever. But yeah. And then for the third engine, I played a little Sacred Beast package, and I'll explain to you why. It's just 5 cards in the main. That's all. It's just the 3 opening of the Spirit Gates, 1 Chaos Summoning Beast, and 1 Dark Beckoning Beast. This is strictly to go into Curious, which is absolutely broken with the Eldritch cards. The fact that you can send Golden Lord, and then you have the continuous spell to bring them back immediately, and you have the sack factor of milling 3 cards off of Curious. That's why I play so many of the like Eldritch cards, because you get free value when you just mill them anyway. And then the other synergy is the way that I play the Dogmatika package with the Shadal engine to constantly be able to abuse Maximus as much as possible. So like your best hands are obviously the ones that have like all 3 engines in it, because they just like they synergize so well together, like bread and butter. But like even if you draw like the weak cards, it's built in I built this deck in a way so that there's still synergy between them. So my logic was that if you draw like the worst brick, which is the Chaos Summoning Beast, and like the Maximus, which would be like one of the bricks in the hand, you can still resolve Maximus and still go for Titanic Cloud Ecclesia, Fleur de Lis, and the Shadal setup, like just with like these 2, which is like crazy, right? Because it's just 2 bricks essentially, and you can still do like things off of 2 bricks, and that's like my biggest goal for the deck would be. Like I don't want to brick with this deck. Like so, even though you're playing like bricks, quote, like it's still like really good. And another like key aspect of why I play this, there's another effect to this card that I feel like not a lot of people know, other than the curious, little quick curious thing. It's if you control a level 10 monster, you can add back a continuous spell, and I feel like not a lot of people know that. So like if you have access to Lord already, you can send Cursed Outland off of Curious, and then if you use your Lord access, like if you just open Lord, you can pitch it off the Spirit Gates when you're reviving to go into Curious, and then you can bring it back and then send Outland off of Curious, and then use Spirit Gates to add back Outland for free, and then add any golden land that you want for the following turn, whether it be like Conquistador, Arquero, or Golden Land Forever. So you have access to whichever one you want, which is like obviously just obnoxiously strong. Like it could be like depending on the matchup or what your hand's missing. But yeah, it just goes to what goes together so well. But yeah, that's it for the engine cards, and then for the rest of the deck itself, I play 3 Ash and 3 Imperm for the hand traps. I really don't like Imperm this format. Like I actually just don't. But it's a trap card first of all for Lord. Like there's times where sometimes you're drawing and you just have to draw like a spell or trap for Lord just to like keep your engine going. But like I said, at my local specifically, there was a lot of people still playing Dragonwink and some like other off like roguish decks, and Imperm just like still comes up really really clutch in those scenarios. So that's why I play the Imperms, and then Ash is just like it's like very generic, but it does stop a lot of cards right now. Like I think stopping the Deer Servant's like super important. Stopping Scarlet right now is super important, and a lot of stuff like that. The Virtual World spell in the grave. There's a lot of cards that this Ash just stops right now. That's like really really good. But if I was to go to like an event, these would probably be something like Ghost Spells, if not just like cut altogether. Because I don't think any deck, for this deck specifically to play against, right? Like I feel like there's nothing that my opponent can do where I'm like, okay, I just lose this game, like guaranteed. Like there's no way. So I feel like hand traps aren't like a big part of the format, and I like that about this format. That's why I like it. That's why I'm making this video, because I enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh again. Because when it was so unhealthy last format, because you had to play like 12 hand traps, and that's like like I don't want to do that. But yeah, I feel like there's not a lot of like one card like kill this deck, and that's what I'm trying to like say pretty much. Like you don't have to play as many hand traps as you don't want to. And then for the last 5 cards, I play 3 Torrential Tribute. This card is broken. Like when this card came at 3, it's one of those cards that nobody really thought was that great anymore. But when you're just catching people off guard and it's a heavy combo meta and no one's really playing around it, like it shines so much. Like you can take so much value just off this card. So yeah, I mean, especially if you like can hold off on your Conquistador and Scarlets and stuff, like, and you just flip this first and then you back it up after, where they try to like recoup their board with the Conquistador. It hits so hard, and being able to trigger it yourself off of your trap cards is like very very relevant. And the last two cards are Book of Moon. This is specifically because I know a lot of people at my at my locals are playing Zoo, and I wanted to be able to Book of Moon Trident, just so I didn't have to like deal with it because it was very very annoying. Also, this can book down Golden Wards, so you can turn off Conquistadors, Sakeros, and whatnot. That's very relevant in the mirror match. And what was the third one? I know there was another reason why I played Book. I can't remember right now. Book of Moon is just a good card. Just put it that way. Oh, it's pretty good against Virtual World when they dedicate into a 9. If they go like Cloud Castle or something in the extra monster zone, you can just like Book of Moon it. Or if they go into the level 9 Virtual World Synchro, I forget what it's called, GT or whatever. Shen, I think it's called. You can book it, and especially if they use the trap on it, because sometimes they go Shen, use the trap, reduce its level by 3, and then try to go for Cloud Castle to bring it back to go to VFD. So when they do that, you can book down the Shen after they use the trap, so that they use like a lot of resources on that card specifically. So it should be able to like stop their plays enough to where they're not doing anything crazy. So yeah, that's the main deck. I know it's 140 cards, but like I said, this is a very flexible build. You can move a lot of like the card ratios around. So you can cut stuff out completely. Like I said, very, very important to keep in mind. Now for the extra deck, I decided to switch it up a little bit. It's kind of different than most Eldritch builds, I feel like, because strictly because I'm playing the Sacred Beast package, I have to play other cards. So for the Link ones, I play Relinquished Anima, Link Karibo, Link Spider, Amirage, and Secure Gardener. So these all have like their own unique purposes that are very relevant. So the Link Spider's here specifically for the Eldritch cards. The Link Karibo and the Anima are here for the Curious play. I'll put Curious right here because you know I play Curious. This is for the Curious play. I'll show that at the end because I feel like it's what the deck's like kind of based around, which is like very important. So I feel like you should at least know. So at the end of the actual profile, I'll show the Curious play real quick, and then I play the one Amirage and the Secure Garna, and this is for the scenarios where you brick and you go summon the Dark Beckoning Beast, and then they hand trap it with something, like whether it be Ash or Imperm or something, and it's still there, and you need to get value off of it, or you have like Maximus in hand, and you need to get the extra monster in the graveyard to be able to summon it. You can link it off into Amirage and then go into Secure Garna, and then you can banish the Amirage from Maximus and be able to keep playing. So it's able to like extend your play still, even though you got stuffed on one aspect, you can keep going from like a different aspect, which is like super, like obviously like really really good. So yeah, that's like all the Link monsters I play. There's not really a lot of room, to be honest, so I didn't have room for something like Nightmare Phoenix or anything like that. Sadly, as much as like I kind of do want to play it, but I mean, if you want to make changes, like I said, this is more of just like a baseline for what I think is like pretty good right now. For the Synchros, I just play 2. It's just the Pegasus and the Omega. Omega, obviously you're playing Dogmatika, so it's like this is like I feel like a must-have. It's like really really good. It can shuffle back stuff in the grave. I feel like that's like a given. And then the Pegasus is kind of like I don't want to say like a flex spot because I really do like it. It's really good to counter their Maximus when they're not actually dedicating to anything yet, and you can just send this and it deals with the window that they're like trying to set up, right? So like it's just good to have, and this is also like a good pitch off of the Deer Servant sometimes if they don't have a board yet, and you don't need to go into the Titaniclad, or you have like other things to banish. Like if you have like the Sacred Beast engine, you can just send this instead. So yeah, like I just like it. It's good. It also outs like some miscellaneous things that can't be destroyed. So it has come up, like I think it's the Virtual World rank 6. I've had to, like it floats if it's destroyed, so you can spin it instead and dodge it, which has come up. So just keep that in mind when you're playing. And then for the fusion monsters, the Little Shadal package, 1 Construct, 1 Window, 1 Abcalone. These have all come up. I feel like the Shadal package is very straightforward. I shouldn't have to explain it really anymore. I play 1 Ash Dragon and 2 Enst, Natist, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it just pops. It just pops and search. This is all straightforward now. And then the last card I play is Pallades. Pallades is only for the Eldritch trap cards because this card is just bonkers. This quick play bounce is really really good. Just in general right now. I think like, over time this card just got like better and better and better. Just the way that like the game itself progressed, and now that we have a deck that can actually use it, it's like a really good threat. So like you don't have to like if like one of them you like force yourself into Link Spider and you're like, all right, I'll bite the bullet and I'll just go into the stupid Link one to get the value off in the grave. When you have two of them, you can go into Pleiades and then it's actually like a real threat. And I feel like that's really important because it's just one more negate that you can have or one more interruption you can have, I should say. Yeah. So I guess I'll just do the one card Curious real quick for you guys, just so you guys can see it. I think that's only fair. So really, realistically, you only have to have one. So we'll do it the best case scenario where you have the opening of the Spirit Gates, and it's this spell and any card in your hand, really. But like it's very nice when you have something like a Scarlet in your hand or one of the elixirs. So I'll just put like Black Awakening in my hand because I guess that would be like one of the worst ones, I suppose. So yeah, so you just use the Spirit Gates, add the Dark Beckoning Beast, normal Dark Beckoning Beast, and then normal the Summoning Beast. Zones kind of matter here. Like you can't put the Dark Beckoning Beast in this column because you have to go in the Link Rebo. So you link off the Dark Beckoning Beast or Dark Summoning Beast. Ugh, these names are so annoying for me. Go into Link Rebo, activate opening the Spirit Gates, pitch the Black Awakening to bring this back. Link this off into Anima, and then you have a Spellcaster, a Cyberse, a Spellcaster, and a Fiend, all darks, and then you can go into your Curious. So you can summon Curious, and then now that I know it's like off the screen, I'm still working on this setup, so don't judge me too much. I know the camera's a little shaky too, but yeah, now you can go into Curious. You can send your Golden Ward, and then even after you send the Golden Ward, you can mill 3 cards off of the Curious, which can be any other Eldritch cards to get free value, which like I don't want to say they're like you don't like depend on these, right? Like these are like a bonus. They're like milling something good off like a BA Dante, right? Like they're just like something extra that's good, but like even without it, you can still send away the Spirit Gates for the Ward and bring it back, and then you can still banish the Awakening for like a Conquistador or something. So it adds 2 extra deck cards, which is just like at least 1 extra deck for the Maximus, right? So that gets that engine going, as well as when Curious dies, you get a free card back in general. So like this play, like it doesn't like seem like a lot at face value, right? But now that games aren't ending turn 1, I feel like this is the most important part. Like now that games aren't ending like in the first 2 turns and you're actually like playing Yu-Gi-Oh again, this like little setup start of the Sacred Beast engine really adds a lot of needed value in these drawn out games because you start with such an advantage, and I feel like that's so undervalued right now in this meta, right? So I think it's very important to keep in mind, and just to like, just to see how the format is going to evolve and keep going and whatnot. And yeah, but yeah, that's gonna be it for the profile. I hope you guys do like the deck. I think it's something different. It's something not like different. Obviously, it's still like an Eldritch Dogmatika deck, right? But like the little engine, I feel like does make it feel like a little fresher than the generic Eldritch stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna be hopefully trying to post more again. We'll see how it goes. If I can keep making some S quality content or some streams possibly again. I do miss going on Dueling Book. I would have liked to grind. I did want to hit the #1 seat at one point, but it's been a rough life. There we go. Don't know how to English, but yeah. Either way, hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you guys enjoy the deck. Feel free to try it out. Let me know how it goes for you, and there are any changes that you might make for the deck itself. So either way, I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.